My topic for today is bringing MineCraft into English classroom. Here's my agenda. I'm going to talk about 8 things, and if I have some time, I would like to take some questions, but we'll see. So the first thing is reflection as an English teacher. I started teaching English about 8 years ago, and when I started teaching, I naively believed that my students will share the same kind of enthusiasm toward learning English, just like myself. It was long before that I found out that it was not the case. And I had to find out the reason why. There could be many reasons, maybe the students are bored of studying English. Korean students start learning English in 3rd grade in elementary school. So by the time they get to middle school, they've been already learning it for more than 4 years. Or the textbook could be boring. It's not nobody's fault, but that's the way it is. Or my teaching style wasn't interesting for them. But anyways, the bottom line is my students were not interested in learning English the way I hoped them to be. So I had to find a way to motivate my students. So, it's always good to start from where the problem lies. My problem lies with my students. So I started thinking about what my students liked. Students like movies, comic books, and they like games. That's right, games. Especially Korea, the students are known for their visually oriented learning styles and games. The reason they like games so much is because games have great graphic work as well as great storyline. So students just love it, right? And so they have an appeal to students by nature. And I have games. I know that students like games, but I had to come up with a way to connect the games to my class, which is learning English. How I do it. I thought about it and decided to try one experiment, which was to recreate the reading portion in the textbook to the world of game. So I asked my students to turn the textbook into a visualized version in the world of games. That's how I got started. And over the past years, I've tried making that textbook video with a lot of games, and I'm going to show you some examples of the games that I used. And very fortunately, I had some students who are capable of playing the game and recording the games and editing the games. I didn't do anything. My student did the work for me. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with these games, but these are some games that were very popular even a few years ago. One example, this is the first one that I asked my students to make the visualized version of the textbook in games. This program is called Close Up, and I asked my students to make a dialogue using this game. Hopefully.
Yes. Do I know you? It's me, Sang-Hen. Don't you remember? We went to the same middle school. Oh, now I remember. Hi, Sang-Hen. You really have changed a lot, haven't I? You haven't changed a bit. You look the same. Thank you. So how have you been? Pretty well. I'm studying architecture in college, and I'm an architect.
Yeah, so this was made 7 years ago. Yeah, you should feel the gap in the technology. These days, you get more better graphics. But then the thing is, my students were able to create the dialogue in the world game. Isn't that amazing? And this is by middle school students between the age of 14 and 16, or 13 and 15 in American age, right? And I have another one. This I really like this one. It's a visual textbook made by StarCraft. Where is it?
Finding the right job is not easy. Finding the right job is not easy.
If you are getting this part, you are not falling behind too much. Okay? You're still hanging there.
The first thing you have to consider is think about what you are interested in and what you like to do.
I'm getting role play. Anyways, this is my student's made. This guy made 4 videos for me, one for each page of the reading portion of the textbook. And I should tell you that this guy, it took this student 32 hours. Let me repeat that. 32 hours to make this video. And the thing is, at the time, I wasn't teaching this guy. I was his homeroom class teacher when he was in the 2nd grade. And when he was in the 3rd grade, I didn't teach him, which means there was no way for me to reward him in terms of grades, and I wasn't gonna pay him anyways, right? But students, when they're interested in something, they show their enthusiasm. And I'm not sure if you noticed, but the voice in this video is not human. It is produced by a program called TTS, text-to-speech program. So all the words here, this guy typed and recorded. And because this guy didn't have money to purchase the TTS program, he might have to just type 1 sentence each and recorded everything. Okay? This is the kind of enthusiasm students show when they're interested in something. And I found it in games. Another one, I have so many. Actually, I made like 150 videos using games, so it's going to just take us like 10 hours just to watching them, but I'm just going to show you some of the good examples. This is another program made by famous computer game Sims. And they're so amazing, aren't they?
I can't stand this anymore. Juno, give me your phone.
What are you doing, Mom? I have to answer.
What are you doing, Juno? I'm telling you something very important and you won't listen to me. I think you're seriously addicted to computer games and your cell phone.
No, you must be kidding. I'm just normal. Our friends play computer games.
Yeah.
There's always listening.
So the student had the characters in the game, the certain gestures, and then he recorded it and put text and added the video. I have some more, but I have another time constraint, so I'm going to just jump to variations. While I was playing, having a lot of fun with having my students create textbook with games, I also noticed that some of my students were not exactly capable of editing the videos, like taking the shots from the games and edit it, but they were able to look for good images from the internet and then put that into textbook. I call it video textbook with images, in short VTI. I'll show you an example what I mean.
Lesson 1. The magic of 10,000 hours. Wow.
This is my student's
It's
voice.
amazing that you can understand what you're reading right now.
Sounds like a native speaker, right?
That's right. You learned English. How long have you been studying English? If you started in middle school...
This was my old school.
If you started in elementary school, it has been 8 years.
It's the school they went to in middle school, elementary school.
Earlier than that,
So it takes a little bit more artistic capability to edit the videos and put the images together, but they did it. So I was having lots of fun with this. Actually, there was one year where I had all of my lessons and I made videos with games and textbook images, all that. It had some pros and cons, but the bottom line is I had a lot of fun. And one thing that I found out is that if you are using game, there is some restrictions. But because games are games after all. I mean because we have goals to accomplish in games and storyline to follow. That's why there are some restrictions. But I ran into Minecraft like 5 years ago. We just got started, you know. And the moment I saw it, I realized that it is a game with infinite possibilities for me as a teacher. Because Minecraft, unlike other games, has no objectives. There is no objectives in the game. You can do whatever you want. If you want to build something, you can. If you want to go make some course and do some racing, you can. The point is having fun in Minecraft. So there is no objectives like goals to accomplish in certain phase in the game. And it lets you create a world of your imagination. I'm gonna show you an example from YouTube I just found. Okay, this one is, you guys all know Lord of the Ring, and this is a guy who took like 3 years to create all the landscapes in the novel by himself. It took him 3 years, and he's proudly showing off his work. Did he get paid for this? I'm not sure, but he's obviously having fun. Yeah, 3 years in the making. If you look at the scale of the video, it's just amazing. So students are already doing this outside classroom. Why not teachers take some advantage of it? See? Yeah. So if you make this kind of landscape, you upload it to a certain community, other people are gonna come and download your file, and they're gonna play, have some, and then if they're interested, they're gonna add more, I don't know, buildings and landscapes and upload it. It's endless circle of learning happening right there. Yep. It's amazing. And this is not exactly Minecraft related, but it's a video made by MineCraft Animation. You all know Gangnam Style, right? The song that swept through the world in 2012. It's a Minecraft Animation. And it's an exact replica of the original music video.
Digging Minecraft style.
Recall, if you remember the music video, it's an exact replica.
Digging a hole, just one more time until I score this. Strike rich on diamonds, iron, gold, and build our decked out fortress. All we need is just a bit of a
Yeah. So, Minecraft has infinite possibilities. You can do anything you want with Minecraft, and students are already enjoying themselves. So, I knew that Minecraft is going to work, and I had to try it simply. And this year I selected some of my students who are interested in Minecraft, and then I asked them to just have fun with the reading text that I gave them. And this is the kind of reading test. It's kind of far away, so you can't really read it. But the bottom line is a story from African proverb. And the bottom line is be patient. Okay? I gave this kind of reading test to my students. And then they used their imagination to create video version or game version of the textbook, which is this. There are two versions. Here.
One hot day, people was very hungry. People saw some delicious butterflies in
So this is exactly what the textbook says.
To the river, but he hit the water too hard. People shouting, "Ouch! I lost my left eye."
I like this part because he lost his eye. And there was no way to show that part with game, but he just removed the left half of the video, showing that the left eye is gone.
He was dead. Tears came from his right eye. People looked for his eye. He dug at the river bottom. The river became very muddy. Poor people couldn't find his eye. People first saw Bird and asked, "Can you help me?" Bird answered, "Sorry, but I can't. The water is too muddy." Then people saw Crocodile and asked for help. Crocodile said, "You don't need my help. Calm down and wait." But people just stopped. Crocodile said, "You'll find your eye. Just wait." But people stopped and stopped. He got tired and stopped digging. After a while, the river became clear again. People could see the river bottom. He shouted, "Look, it's my left eye."
Yeah, now he got his left eye back.
I'm so happy. People looked at Crocodile and said, "Crocodile, you were right." Crocodile smiled and swam away.
Yeah, this is amazing, right? He just made a video of the 3 long pages textbook, and this guy is first grade in middle school, which means he's 13. And I didn't have to tell him anything about how to make this video because they are already making this kind of videos outside classroom. It was just bringing what they already like, and doing into classroom. That's what I did. And there's another version. It's a little simpler, but it's still fun. And this boy told me, I asked him to make this video like a month before I did it, and he completely forgot about it. And when I asked him what happened to the video, and he remembered the day, it was the day before when I did it, and it took him, he said it took him 2-3 hours. Excuse me. Yeah, same story.
One hot day, people was very hungry.
I like his
People
voice.
saw some delicious water plants in the river. People dived into the river, but he hit the water too hard. People shouted, "Ouch! I lost my left eye." He was sad. Tears came from his right eye. People looked for his eye. He dug at the river bottom. The river became very muddy. Poor Hippo couldn't find his eye. Hippo first saw Bird and asked, "Can you help me?" Bird answered, "Sorry, but I can't. The water is too muddy." Then Hippo saw Crocodile and asked for help. Crocodile said, "You don't need my help. Calm down and wait." But Hippo just dug. Crocodile said, "You will find your eye. Just wait." But Hippo dug and dug. He got tired and stopped digging. After a while, the river became clear again. Hippo could see the river bottom. He shouted, "Look, it's my left eye. I'm so happy." Hippo looked at Crocodile and said, "Crocodile, you're right." Crocodile smiled and swam away.
You can tell that this video was made in
One hot
rush.
day, Hippo was very
Less effects, but still it carries what the textbook is trying to say. And I was having so much fun that I decided to ask a little more creativity from my students, where I asked my students, like for a story like this, keep the lesson but change everything, such as setting and the characters and the timeline and everything. And the result is this video, but I'm not sure if I can show you the whole thing, but I'm doing my best. The story, it goes like this. The time is like Arabian night in the Middle East, and a father sends his son to the wisest man in the world to learn the secret of happiness. The son travels through desert and finally gets to the wisest man. It was a mansion where there was an orchestra playing soft music, tables full of delicious foods, and dancers dancing. And the wisest man asked the boy why he came. And the boy said, I want to know the secret of happiness. And instead of telling the answer right away, the wisest man pours him a drop of oil on a spoon and gave the spoon to the boy. And says, go around and take a look around my house. And then the boy came back, and then the wisest man said, what did you see? He told him what he saw, like beautiful flowers and gardens, everything. And then the wisest man asks the boy what happened to the oil. And when the boy looked at the spoon, oil is gone, obviously. And then the wisest man this time pours him another drop of oil and asks him to really focus on the oil and not to lose it. And then the boy this time goes around and just looked at the oil. And he came back and he said, you have your oil, but what did you see or when this time? And the boy said he didn't see anything. So the lesson is like, happiness of secret is to make sure that you do not lose the oil drop of oil, but as well as watching and enjoying things around you, which for me is like, it says like, it's important to keep a great balance between work and family, things happening right now or in the future. Anyway, the story, and then I gave that text to my students, and the boy totally changes it to like this. And this guy is a character, I should tell you. He's creative, but it's a little funny. A lot of sound effects by his mouth. He's playing all parts.
There is a wise man.
Typos.
Oh, big father, and I take a sword and shot, shoes, and helmet and a torch.
Yeah, I want to show you more, but I'm under time constraints. So yeah, the story was like this. And then the results is whoever makes this video, they get the content of the textbook perfectly well, because they have to understand it in order to make a video that other students can understand. So they really study hard in other way other than hitting the book. And other students, because they watch this video, which is interesting, are more engaged in learning. It's like their first time in their life to watch anything made like from textbook into MineCraft, so it's amazing for them. And the amazing part of this is that some of the students who helped me make this kind of video found their calling in making videos and editing the video. They decided to pursue their line of work, and one of the students, the guy who made StarCraft video, he's now working as a video creator at a company. He's 23 years old now, but he's been making videos for like 10 years already, so there's nobody who can come up to it, like measure up this capability. And reflection, of course, MineCraft is interesting, it's a good way, but it's when you overdo it, students will get bored because they are already doing it in other outside classroom. So it's a good way to motivate students and really help them show their creativity in classroom, but it's not the ultimate, ultimate weapon for teachers, right? So it's a good way, but not ultimate. So you have to be careful in maneuvering to choosing to use MineCraft. And my time is already up. If you have questions, here's my email address. You can reach me at this email address. And I have tons of more things to show you, but I couldn't do it because I only have 25 minutes. I usually take like 5 hours explaining all this stuff, but I couldn't do it this time. So, yep, that's it for my presentation. Thank you so much.